The most important coding convention of horror, in my opinion, is sound and lighting to build intensity and tension within the film. Diegetic sound is used within horror films. It's when the characters within the film and the audience can hear the sounds, such as a phone ringing and then the line going dead. This is very ominous in horror films, and the loud sound of the silence of the phone builds the tension. Within the opening scenes of Stranger Things, examples of diegetic sound is when the alarm goes off, staggered breathing, and the elevator, which all make the audience fear for the character as the tension is building. Non-diegetic sound, which is when only the audience watching the film can hear the sounds, is used throughout most horror films. One example of this is when an antagonist appears in the film, and this is usually accompanied with a loud, shocking or high-pitched sound. Silence within horror films is sometimes more effective than non-diegetic or diegetic sounds, as it makes the audience begin to question what is going to happen next. Silence is usually followed by a loud sound which causes a jump scare within the audience. Lighting is very important within horror films as it creates the atmosphere of the scene. For example, in Stranger Things, the lighting in the opening scene implies a sense of danger and urgency for the character. This is because of the flashing lights down the corridor and the bright lights flashing as an alarm. Because of the lighting, shadows are created which build tension because the characters and audience don't know whether anything else is hidden in the darkness. Within Stranger Things, the light helps to emphasise the character's nerves and fears as the light catches his sweat. More fear is created when the flashing lights down the corridor make it appear continuous and never ending, and therefore making the audience believe that there is certain doom for this character, as there is nowhere to escape. In my final production, my group and I may use a combination of diegetic and non-diegetic sounds, just like my group and I have in our preliminary film. For example, we use a soundtrack which is non-diegetic to build suspense at the start of our film. And when James, our character, comes back into focus with reality. We also use dialogue, which is diegetic sound.
Hello James, I'm Dr. Alexandra. How are you?
And the crashing of the clipboard when James threw it after getting frustrated by the sounds in his head.
No! Shut up!
However, I think we should experiment more with silence in order to build suspense and to create tension. Also, for our final film, I think we should use darkness to create an eerie atmosphere and perhaps use a combination of bright lights and flashing lights whenever the antagonist appears.